Hey, so in this video, I do rate some Roblox anime games that you've probably played yourself, but here's the thing, it's all my opinion. You can disagree with me if you want, but, you know, just make your own list. I have a link to the thing down below if you want to make it. Link is always going to be in the description or in the comment section. If you guys want to make your own tier list, I have a link down below. If you want me to add another game to it, tell me in the comment section, I'll try to do it. But this is just my opinion. I don't mean to, you know, downgrade or degrade your favorite games. I'm sorry if you take that to offense, but it's just my opinion. It's my experience. We all have different experiences with the game, but I hope you guys do enjoy the video and listen to my opinion. Hey, so we back for another video. So in this video, we're going to be doing a thing called Roblox Anime Games tier list. So I made this tier list because I saw iDub do it and I saw other YouTubers do it, and I wanted to make one for Roblox anime games. I made a community post asking you guys to just give me names of your favorite anime games on Roblox. One thing I didn't include in this were My Hero Academia games because I personally don't have many experiences with them. I only have experience with my own, and I don't want to rate my own game, so I just kept it off of the list. But if you guys want me to add that after the video, I'll add it to it, and I'll link the tier thing so you can make your own tiers in the description or in the comment section so you guys can make your own tiers. So let's go ahead and get into this. First game in the tier list is going to be... Actually, let me explain this for you if you don't know how this works. Tier list is basically a website or something that lets you label things as, you know, ranks. So S is the best rank, A is second best, B third, C middle basically, and then F is the worst letter or the worst grade you can give a game or tier in the tier lister or maker. So for me, I'm personally not going to give anything F. I don't think any of these games really deserve F if they're one of the top anime games on Roblox. They don't deserve an F. I'm just saying that right now. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first game I want to rate is going to be ABA. ABA, if you know what this is Anime Battle Arena. The only caveat I have to this game is that it costed Robux to play, but otherwise it's a pretty good game. I'm not gonna lie, ABA is a pretty decent game, and for that I'm probably gonna end up giving ABA a B rank. The reason why it could have been higher, if it was free and there was a lot of players playing it every single day, definitely an A, but the reason why it's not an A is because it's not free. If it was free and a lot of players are playing it, I think I would be making content on this weekly, maybe even daily to be honest, but it really depends on you. In my opinion, I think it's this. Now, the next game I want to give some credit to is Anime Cross 1. Anime Cross 1 was one of the first anime battleground games, but the only issue I had with Anime Cross 1 was mainly balancing issues. Not a lot of things were balanced. The game was really fun. It was fun to record, but otherwise I'm probably going to end up giving Anime Cross 1 a C because it could have had more work done to it before they ended it and decided to work on Anime Cross 2. But you know what? We already spoke about Anime Cross 1. Let's go ahead and rate Anime Cross 2. So with Anime Cross 2, it's so hard to find the icon for this game. I give this game, it's in between an A and a B for me, to be honest. I like it because it's free, but I also find it annoying how the hitboxes are broken, and there's like a lot of issues with, you know, playing the game with the hitboxes. But otherwise, I'm probably going to end up giving the game a B rank, to be honest. If it had fixed hitboxes and, you know, some detail in the animations for characters, I think this game would have an A. It's just that the hitboxes are so annoying for me that I just can't give it higher than that. Now, because we're still in the anime battleground trend, I'm probably gonna end up talking about Ultimate Crossover. Ultimate Crossover is kind of like a mixture of ABA and Anime Cross. The difference between them is I think Ultimate Crossover pays a little bit more attention to the movesets of the characters, because for Anime Cross 2, usually I think they would do some research, but with Ultimate Crossover, I think they actually would ask people that were deep fans of the series. Like, I remember they would ask me about, you know, My Hero Academia and stuff like that. They would ask me about the moveset for Deku, and some of the moveset was changed because it wasn't, like, you know, according to the series, so I like that. But for that, I'm probably going to end up giving it a C rank because I still think like Anime Crossover 2 or Anime Cross 2 is better than Ultimate Crossover, but I also think Ultimate Crossover isn't actually that bad of a game. Now, the next game I want to rate OPBA or Pirate's Wrath. If you've ever heard of this, this is kind of like a really famous One Piece game on Roblox. This game was one of the top games at one point, and it just recently came back. The only issue I have with it is that it feels the exact same as the old version. I don't think there were many differences or any changes made to it, and for that I'm probably going to end up giving it a B. If they had made a lot of changes and I could have noticed them better, I probably would have given it an A. But otherwise, it's probably going to get a B from me. But remember, this is just my opinion. You can rate it however you want. Now, notice how everything's kind of kept with a B or C rank. Let's go ahead and keep rating some random stuff. You can look at the bottom over here, and you see there's a lot more things to rate. Now, the next thing I want to rate is Project JoJo. I barely played this game, but from my experience, it was a pretty fun game if you had a stand. If you didn't have a stand like me, it really wasn't that fun. You were just getting killed and, not really having too much fun because players kept running around, stealing money and stuff like that. For that, I'm probably going to end up giving Project JoJo a C, only because it's really difficult to get into the game at first. You need to have a lot of patience, but if I had the patience to play it, probably would have given it a higher rank. Now, the next game I am going to rate is Film's Attack on Titan. If you don't know what this is Attack on Titan Downfall. One of the OG Attack on Titans. If you don't know what this is, I highly recommend playing it. I don't think it's open, or it might be open, I don't remember. I used to play this game a lot in my videos back in the day when I first started, but this game has not received any love from the owner anymore. I think he's making different games, of course, but this game was really transcendent. It was really good. I think it changed Attack on Titan games on Roblox for a long while. Not many people were making Attack on Titan games that were focused on the combat. A lot of people were doing roleplay games, and this game kind of changed it in my opinion. So for that, I'm probably going to end up giving it an A list because it changed the game in my opinion. I think it really changed what was going on. Now, the next game I want to rate is going to be One Punch Man Unleashed. If you don't know what this game is, it's also an old One Punch Man game. This game had a lot of love at first, and then the owner just let it die. He literally just did not want to work on it anymore from what I could tell, and he just let it just die off from there. Decided to work on other games that you've probably played before, but I'm not going to name them because it's kind of obvious what they are. Now this one, the reason why I'm not giving it a B or a C rank is because it's so outdated. It did not receive love from the owner. It was a good game at the time, but a lot of One Punch Man games nowadays are doing a lot better than this, but I'm hoping that a certain someone makes a One Punch Man game in the future that can prove me wrong in terms of giving this a low rank. Now, the next game I'm going to rate, these are games that I personally find to be fun, or somewhat fun. The next game I want to rate is going to be Rogue Lineage. This isn't really an anime game, but I could see a lot of inspiration of it, or in it, coming from maybe manhwa or manga or something like that. Anything, not really anime related, but, anything from series like webtoons and stuff like that. I can see a lot of inspiration or a lot of similarities between the two. And for that, I'm probably going to end up giving Rogue Lineage an A because there's two levels in the game. There's a level of the surface level, where if you first play the game, it's all about killing and, running around and stuff like that. But there's also a deeper level, and you can get into the game. There's like the Gate of Truth or whatever it's called. If Theo got to that point, you can check out his videos on it, or Nano's videos. There's a lot of deep meanings in the game that you have to play for a while to understand. Now, the next thing I want to rate is going to be Dragon Ball Online Revelations. If you've never played this game was one of the first games I really made videos on that really got me quite a bit of views. It got me a couple thousand views when I first started playing it, and I was really happy about that. As a small channel, it was great to see that coming in. But this game was not really abandoned. It stopped getting updated until recently, but I'm probably going to end up giving this game a B rank because this game it's not really going to be updated anymore. Dragon Ball Online Generations is the next game, and it's on this list. But there's a lot of other games I could have put on this list. I just couldn't think of them. And a lot of the lists or games that you guys gave me in my section, like my community section, were kind of repeats. So I couldn't really put them all on here. Now we have 3, 6, 9, 10 more games left. We so far rated 10 games. So we have 10 left, guys. The next thing I want to rate is World Zero. This game has a lot of anime inspiration, and I personally believe this game has a lot of potential. At the moment, I am going to give it a B rank though. It has a lot of beautiful 3D models and animations. It's just the stat system and the combat is sort of downplayed. It's sort of misunderstood by players, and it's also not really developed further than it should have been. I think they should have maybe edited the combat a bit to be a little bit more balanced and having maybe rolls and blocking and stuff like that, but they don't have it. So this is why it's a B rank. Could be higher though. Now, we're going to get on to our next 9 games. The next game is going to be Sword Burst 2. Sword Burst 2, fun game. I stopped playing it midway through, but I got back into it and I kept playing it. It's a really fun game. The reason why I'm not giving it a B rank though, or anything higher, is because this game is not as good as World Zero in my opinion. I think this and World Zero are really good games. It's just that the attention to detail in World Zero triumphs Sword Burst 2 in my opinion. So that's why I'm giving Sword Burst 2 a C rank. Not in terms of gameplay, I think in terms of attention to detail and the 3D models, World Zero has Sword Burst 2 beat in terms of looks and aesthetics. And also, I think the scripting is also very similar between the two games, so we can't really rate it on that. I think someone I don't know who it was, one of the high ranks mentioned how the reason why people could exploit World Zero was because it using very similar code to Sword Burst 2. So I think they're personally the same on that. It's just that look-wise is the only thing we can rate it on. And I think World Zero is better look-wise, and it has a broader future in my opinion at least. Now, the next game I'm going to rate is going to be RoPiece. RoPiece, very fun game at first. That's what I liked about it. You could get into it in the first 10 minutes and understand it. That's what anime games need to be like. You need to understand them right when you get into them. And that's why I'm giving RoPiece a B rank. B rank because it took less than 10 minutes for me to get into it. It took less than 10 minutes for me to actually have fun in it. And also I could play with my friends and, enjoy it. I could voice call with my friend Doge, and the two of us could just have fun, a blast, while playing it, and not have to deal with exploiters, because it was rarely, honestly, I didn't deal with any exploiters when I played the game. I just had fun playing with my friend. He stole my devil fruit at one point, and I got mad, but it was still fun because we both understood the gameplay and what would happen if someone took the devil fruit. Now, keeping on with the trend with the Carrot Bros, I'm going to go ahead and rate NRPG Beyond. I was going to put Shinobi Life and all the other games on here, but I decided to keep it between the two because I don't really know much about those games, and I didn't put Shinobi Story here yet because Shinobi Story, really I haven't played it as much as I've played DBOG. I understand DBOG a lot more than I understand Shinobi Story, and plus I'm waiting a little bit longer for Shinobi Story. Maybe I'll add it to the list later on in the future, but for NRPG Beyond, I am going to give it a B rank because it could have been better if the combat was better, but otherwise it received so many updates that the game just stayed consistent and fun for everybody. It's just that after it didn't receive updates, it did get a little bit stale. Now, the next game I'm going to rate, like I mentioned before, is going to be DBOG. DBOG, in my opinion, is better than DBOR. It has a much bigger future, much broader horizons, and that's why I'm giving it an A, because Sony's putting so much detail into this game. He literally comes by to Main, myself, Ethereal, Seiji, everybody. He's like, hey guys, what do you think of the game? Tell me about this gift, this Kamehameha attack. What do you think of the particles, the animations, how I scripted it? He legit pays attention to every single detail. And that's why I'm giving it an A. It's such a good game. I think it could honestly become an S tier game once it's released, but it's not, so I'm not going to rate it that high yet because you yourself have not played it 100%. Now, the next game I'm going to rate is going to be, well, we have 5 games left, and these 5, in my opinion, are some of the top games in this list. We have RoGhoul. RoGhoul could be an S tier, could be an A tier, could be a B tier. But in my opinion, I think it's an A tier game. It has so many cool things in it. It has really good 3D models, has a really good core loop in which you can just replay the game every single day. But the only issue I had at first with RoGhoul was it was really difficult to get into it if you don't know what you're doing. So if you're going to play RoGhoul, maybe play with a friend or two, maybe try to learn both halves, play as CCG or a Ghoul. You have a lot of options in the game, so that's cool too. But otherwise, I'm probably going to give it an A and keep it at that for now. Maybe some updates in the future will raise it. Now, the next game I'm going to rate is going to be Fairy Tail Online Fighting. This isn't the actual icon of the old version. I'm rating the old version, not the one by Tales Scripting, but the one by VTEX Games. If you don't know about this game, Fairy Tail Online Fighting was the OG Fairy Tail. Just like OPGA. I couldn't find OPGA, so I just didn't put it on this list, but maybe if I find it, I'll put it on. OPGA and Fairy Tail Online Fighting were basically the first of the games. I know there was One Piece Online, OPO, and stuff like that, but OPGA and this game, FTOF, were honestly really transformative. They changed how Fairy Tail games work and how One Piece games work on Roblox. OPO was the OG, probably the best One Piece game I've ever played when I was younger, but I couldn't find it, honestly. I just stopped looking because I found 20 games. I was like, I'm tired of looking for games, and the website really wouldn't let me make the template. But for this, I'm going to give FTOF an A, just like Films' game. It really changed how Fairy Tail games are made. Not many Fairy Tail games are made anymore, but FTOF, if VTEX really started it again, I would 100% play it. 100%. And now, the last 3 games. The final 3 games are all by Snake World and Friends: Final Stand, NL2, and Attack on Titan Revenge. These 3 games, very fun, very different, but also inspired by anime. One for Dragon Ball Z, one for Naruto, and one for Attack on Titan. Now, let's go ahead and start with the Attack on Titan game. For Attack on Titan, honestly, this could be an A tier game. The reason why I'm not giving it A though is because it really didn't change the platform on anime games and everything. I think it's a B tier game because it can be played, but overall it was because of updates and because of how difficult it was that it was fun. But I think it got a little bit easier to play it, so that's why I'm giving it kind of a B rank, but it was a really good game at the time. And now the second to last game, I'm going to give it to NO2. NO2 could be an A tier game, could be a B tier game. Honestly, it could be C, D, E, F, A, S, whatever you want to do. I'm honestly going to give this game, honestly, an A tier rank. And that's because, if not for NO2, not because of it being made, but because of it being shown to the public, if not for the videos and, you know, the attention it received from the fan base of Snake World and everything, this game wouldn't have affected a lot of other games. But a lot of other games recently have been affected by NO2. If you've like played Rogue Lineage, I'm pretty sure Rogue Lineage and NO2 share some similarities. You can literally see on the thumbnails, they're pretty similar. I think NO2 was inspired by Rogue Lineage's thumbnail or icon, but Rogue Lineage, Raguza, whatever you want to call him, he's a friend of Snake World who worked on NO2, so the two of them have some link with that, and I think that both these games really transformed how community games work. Not many games had a gripping mechanic in them until NO2. Not many games had bone breaking in them until Rogue Lineage made it more famous. It wasn't created by Rogue Lineage, but it was made famous by Rogue Lineage because they really used it as a heavy core function or core feature in their game. Now, NO2 is an A tier game because it, of course, transformed how community games work, and even now, community games are very much inspired by NO2 and Rogue Lineage. You can see My Hero Academia community games rising, you can see Bleach ones rising, you can see a lot of community games taking inspiration from NO2 and Rogue Lineage. And now, the final game of the list, you can kind of assume where I'm going to put this in the list. I honestly want to give Final Stand the S tier, and the reason is, if you're mad, I understand, but in my honest opinion, Final Stand basically put anime games back on the map. Anime games would sometimes go on the front page, get like 3,000 visitors, and this is from someone who's been playing Roblox for over 10 years, by the way. Anime games, since I was a kid while playing Roblox, since I first joined, would max get 2 to 3k players. Fairy Tail Online Fighting at one point, I think the highest I ever saw on it was like 6k, but they would always go down to like 2 to 3k. This game, Final Stand, is the reason, in my opinion, why anime games are so high up on the list. This game and RoGhoul, in my opinion, are the top two in terms of visitors constantly playing it, in my opinion at least. Now, Rogue Lineage made so much more money than a lot of these games down here because Rogue Lineage was paid access at one point, and I think it still kind of is. But Final Stand, in my opinion, the reason why I put an S, it's free. You can play it. It's also really easy to get into. The moment you join the game, you start turning your character around, you're always confused, but then you click, you can fly, you can read the description and understand the game more. The videos on this game are always fun to watch. I know people that watch all my videos on Final Stand, they watch the complete video, they don't finish it until it's at 0 seconds left, 100% done. They watch all of it. The Final Stand community, in my opinion, is the best community because it's so loyal to the game. Some people still play Final Stand even to this day. If I look up Final Stand hasn't been updated in like a month or two, and it still has over 1,000 visitors. I'm gonna look it up right now, by the way. So if you look right here, Final Stand has over 3,000 people playing it, legit. 3.29k people playing it. 3,291,000 people playing it. Sorry, 3,291 people playing it. And then if you look over here, left click, blah, 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 blah. All these things telling you how to play the game. The first thing you do is just do that. You can look up videos, there's VIP servers, I believe, in the game. This game, Final Stand, is just not the complete game, in my opinion. It's just the easiest to get into, the most fun at first. There's so much to do, and even so, even if the game doesn't get updates, you can still make another account. Play as another race. You can play as a Saiyan, a human, a Majin, a Namekian, an android, anything you want that's in the game, and still have fun. And you can choose a different path compared to other players. Now, does Final Stand deserve more updates? I do think so, yes. But Final Stand is more complete than a lot of these games combined, in my opinion, though. But that's pretty much all I have for this tier making list thing, guys. If you want the tier list, link is down below. If you want me to add another game to the list so you can make a tier list, I'll leave a link to the thing down below. Comment down below a game I did not put on this list. I'll add My Hero Academia games after if you want me to. But hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Till then, it's been your man Roball. Signing out now. See you on the next video. Take care, everybody.